Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Montessori Association of Malaysia, our monthly talks. We are very happy today as it is Father's Day. It should, of course, be every day. We like to celebrate everyone every day. So today we have someone who's going to share his experience with us, his take, his enlightenment by Montessori. So it is not the usual run-of-the-mill parent because it's a father. As you know, it's Father's Day. And I will basically just give a little bit of a rundown about him. Zuhry Mazlan has over 15 years of experience in engineering and management related fields from various sectors, including being a part-time lecturer at private colleges and public universities in Malaysia. Being a father to 4 lovely children makes him to always seek better understanding concerning good parenting methods, including being interested to deepen his Montessori methodologies that he is familiar with, both formally and informally. He earned a certification in Montessori sports issued by the International Montessori Association, International Montessori Association, AMI, known as Association Montessori International, right? Okay, the other way around, the one that's based in Netherlands, I believe. And also a Montessori Professional Certificate in the 6 to 12 year category from the Center for Guided Montessori Studies, I believe based in the US, if I'm not mistaken. But let's just call on Zuhry and let him give more maybe accurate and upper description of his experiences. And let's see what he has to share with us. Okay. Hello, Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon, Zuhry. How are you?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Aisyah. Alhamdulillah baik-baik.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, great to see you on this Sunday afternoon. How's your Father's Day been so far?
Today is quite quite a routine for me every weekend, especially on Sunday. Cuci rumah, get things done and so on. Main-main dengan anak sikit-sikit. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. Okay, well, basically, I've looking at the time. I think let's just move on. Start straight away. Let's see what you have to share with us, Zuhry. And if you need any kind of clarification or assistance, just give me a call and I'll come back on. The show is yours.
Sure. Okay, thank you very much, Puan Aisyah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everybody. First of all, I would like to say much thank you to Puan Aisyah of Montessori Association of Malaysia for inviting me. To share a little bit of my knowledge and somehow experience with regards to parenting my child my 4 children, okay, and using or adopting Montessori methods along the way. Again, I'm very pleased to be here, and hoping that my little bit of sharing session today would be of benefit to those who are joining with us today. Secara maya, okay, virtually, okay. So yeah, just before that, I would like to put a general disclaimer lah. I'm no expert in this particular field. I'm just an ordinary person, a father of 4, very much keen and interested with regard to the subject matter, and my sharing will be purely based on my experience as a father, and also Along the way, I will be discussing some of the key important points or key important aspects with regards to the Montessori method and how we as a parents, in particular as a father, because I'm sure with us today, I believe not just mother, but also uh, father as well. Okay. But obviously, since this YouTube live is to be recorded and is going to be kept in MAM YouTube channel. So of course, if kalau tak ada yang berkesempatan um, uh, nak bersama-sama dengan kita sekarang ni, so insyaallah nanti hopefully later when it has been published, so we can always refer to that particular video. My name is Zuhry Mazlan. Okay, can call me Zuhry. I'm staying in Shah Alam, and my routine job is basically providing a consultancy services in the area of management and engineering related fields, and also by virtue of my lovely wife Nick, she's also very much into this particular subject matter. She has sort of established her own humble center, Montessori center, also in Shah Alam, dedicating herself, to promote as well as advocate, Montessori way of raising up children, to be specific, 3 to 6 years old. So along the way of me as a person, as a person becoming a father, so banyaklah yang kita dah lalui when it comes to how to apply a good way of parenting. Okay, because outside, we have all sorts of methods of parenting style or parenting techniques. But again, what struck me personally is the Montessori method itself, because we can always complement that particular method with other methods whenever we are raising our children, i.e. Parenting. Okay, so jadi saya ada 4 orang anak, alhamdulillah, yang sulung dah berumur ataupun berusia 13 tahun. They call it as teenager lah. Okay, so saya ada anak-anak remaja sekarang yang sedang meningkat remaja, 13 tahun, and then the second one is daughter, anak perempuan berusia 9 tahun, 9 years of age, and then followed by the third, which is the second son, the third child, 7 tahun, and apa tu, I don't know, I would not say last lah at the moment, yang nombor 4. Okay, yang nombor 4 6 bulan. 6 bulan. Okay. And the beauty part of it, yang nombor 4 ni, alhamdulillah, dengan izinnya, happens to be born on the same exact day of as my birthday last year. Okay, jadi jadi in terms of my journey as a father, it all started 13 years ago lah, 13 tahun yang dulu, yang mana I think it was a normal way of raising up your child or my child in particular, that 13 years ago, yang mana yalah kita banyak apa tu buatkan untuk dia kan. Kita buatkan untuk dia, kita apa tu, kita sort of macam try to accommodate what he wants kan. Jadi daripada situ dia berjalan macam biasa. It is quite a straightforward kind of journey lah for me during that particular time. And I was quite I would say during that time I was quite busy lah when it comes to work commitments. Okay, because you need to have a proper balance. You need to strike a balance between your work as well as your life. But during that particular time, I consider myself as quite a busy person lah masa tu. Jadi it was quite a routine for me to to just life the way as it is. And then weekend kita jadi apa yang biasa orang guna istilah weekend parent, kita bawa anak jalan-jalan keluar, and then kita entertain dia, kita entertain our family, kita play around with them, kita got the chance to communicate better with them. So all those kind of activities dan yang kita buat sama-sama dengan anak, bahkan dengan family lah for that matter. So it went quite straightforward to me until a moment where my first son was enrolled to a preschool also in Shah Alam. Masa tu tak silap saya umur dia 4 tahun gitulah. 4 tahun, and then again it was quite a routine job for me on a day-to-day basis. And then dapat anak nombor 2. Okay, so dapat anak nombor 2. Then my wife she after further much discussion and deliberation, and istikharah and so on. So my wife took the decision or decided to resign and to become a full-time housewife. Right, so that's where her journey in Montessori as well as my journey as a father of 2 during that particular time. Slowly, I would say slowly to make I would say a huge leap lah, or significant change of mindset waktu tu. Jadi sebab apa? Sebabnya ialah kita mengikutlah apa kaedah-kaedah parenting di luar sana, yang mana yang baik kita ambil lah, yang mana yang kita rasa sesuai dengan diri kita kan. Jadi pada waktu ketika tu my wife dia very keen and interested to know more about the Montessori method. So she did her self study, I still remember during that particular time it was not that so easy lah, in the sense that to look out for or to reach out for like-minded peers or like-minded mothers or parents that have the same interest with regards to Montessori. What more to to refer to books or references on how this particular method is to be applied to your children. Okay, jadi masih lagi macam biasa dan sebagainya, tapi along the way itulah I was a bit skeptical. Honestly, I was a bit skeptical with regards to this particular method. Tapi itulah my wife kept on telling me this and this, kept on discussing about how Dr. Maria Montessori, see things or see or observe child development. Uh, I would say differently as compared to the conventional way of understanding child development. So itulah dia cakap lah sentiasa, tak kira masa, dalam kereta kan, kat dapur tengah makan. So always. Jadi I still remember we had quite a few of deep discussion, as well as I would say intellectual arguments. In the context of how to parent, or how to become a good parent, or how to raise up your children, and in particular, complementing or applying the Montessori method. So banyak argument, banyak debate dan sebagainya. So tapi itulah, my wife, I think major credit lah has to be given to her lah. Sebab apa? Sebabnya I was at the same time, I also did my own research. It's sebab bila kita nak berbincang ni, deep discussion, kita pun nak kena tahulah sedikit sebanyak. So she did requested me to refer to the original books of Dr. Maria herself. There are a few dozens of books written by Dr. Maria Montessori. So yalah, adalah satu dua buku yang when I read, and then dia struck up my mind, yang in particular on the the 4 planes of development. So siapa yang biasa dengan Montessori method ni, dia ada satu principle of understanding the child development, apa yang kita panggil sebagai the 4 planes of development. Yang itu memang ada dalam mana-mana buku Dr. Maria Montessori, itu memang dia akan establish that kind of diagram or flow chart, we call it, indicating a different segmentation of understanding or the core objectives of a child development throughout the phases of life, sampai daripada bermulanya kosong ataupun lahir satu hari sehinggalah 24 tahun. Okay, sehinggalah 24 tahun. And she further substantiate or signify the child development process tu into 4 main segments. Okay, yang mana and what I like about this particular method, it is purely based on scientific observation, scientific discovery, as well as logical reasonings. Okay, and yalah, kalau kita tahu even from the history part of it, Dr. Maria herself was the medical doctor, I would say to a certain extent a philosopher, and psychologist, and so on and so forth. So jadi daripada situ, jadi saya pun macam very that particular diagram ataupun that particular 4 planes of development tu memang sangat-sangat relevant lah, dan itulah yang menyebabkan the key aspect of understanding the child development that I always refer to, and based on my experience with my own little children, with my own kids. So it was very much relevant, further validates that particular findings or discovery. So just a little bit on the 4 planes of development, in case kalau ada sesiapa yang kat sini yang macam masih lagi tertanya-tanya ataupun mungkin tak begitu clear apa yang dimaksudkan dengan 4 planes of development tu. So basically the 4 planes of development tu yang mana Dr. Maria Montessori dipecahkan kepada 4. yang mana 0 hingga 6, the main goals of a child during this 6 years of life, the first 6 years of life ni adalah to achieve physical independence. Physical independence. So dekat sini lah kita akan tengok banyak sangat the development in terms of physical movement anak-anak kita. Daripada baring, lepas tu dia menyarak, daripada menyarak dia start to angkat badan dia start to crawl, whenever starting to crawl, and then they try to hold on to something, dia nak berdiri, nak angkat badan dia, and then moving on to the walking, running, and so on and so forth. So rampant development in terms of physical attributes or characteristics. So objektif yang kita nak capai sewaktu 0 hingga 6 ni adalah basically to focus more on the physical independence. Jadi dan daripada situ juga kita tengok untuk 6 hingga 12 pula, the second 6 years is to achieve the intellectual independence. Intellectual independence. Kalau kita perasan dekat waktu ni pun, kita akan perasan anak-anak dia quite open in the sense that they would love to know how things are running, are working, are going on around them. Kenapa ada malam? Kenapa kereta tu tayar tu berpusing? Kenapa kipas tu bergerak dan sebagainya? So a lot of questions that being raised during this the second 6 years, 6 hingga 12. Jadi based on the scientific observation developed by observed by Dr. Maria, yang mana 6 hingga 12 tahun ni memang is for us to see them, to assist them, to guide them on how to achieve that intellectual independence. Moving on to the next 6 years, 12 hingga 18 tahun pula, is to achieve the emotional independence. Dia berkaitan dengan emosi. Sebab apa? Sebabnya kalau kita perasan, even at the very early beginning of 12 years old, even much earlier than that, kalau macam perempuan tu dia akan reach puberty level, even untuk lelaki pun 12, 13, 14, 15 tahun waktu tu dia adalah balik. So it has got a lot to do with the psychological approach, the emotional aspect of it, so di situ kita pun kena faham di manakah kedudukan kita dalam kehidupan anak-anak tu when they reach that certain age, at the third phase of their life lah, 12 hingga 18 tahun, and the fourth phase basically 18 hingga 24 is to achieve the financial independence, ataupun how they would like to see themselves within the community that they are going to develop themselves inside that particular community. So, and what are the things that they would like to contribute or to bring back to the society at large. So those are the things yang triggered me to really understand even more about this particular method. And just and then juga yang paling not to say paling lah, maknanya one of the key self discovery lah, at least to myself lah. Untuk orang lain saya tak pastilah, whoever yang go through this particular method. Tapi as for me myself, I always refer to the Islamic teachings, what are the previous generations do when it comes to parenting and so on and so forth, how to educate our child, how to communicate well with them and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of guidance basically. Tapi yang paling menarik minat saya adalah bila mana saya teringat semula, sebab obviously kita mungkin I would say if not all, but maybe most of us here yang biasa dengar lah, there's an old saying ataupun there's a generic way of saying based on observation, based on observation, which having this particular, the 4 planes of development further validates, the previous saying. The saying too was made by the Salafus Saleh, the early generations, after our Prophet Muhammad SAW, yang mana dia kata, bermainlah dengan anak kamu pada 7 tahun pertama, the first 7 years, bermainlah dengan anak kamu. Kemudian didiklah anak kamu pada 7 tahun kedua, meaning 7 to 14. Dan berkawanlah dengan anak kamu pada 7 tahun ketiga, meaning 14 to 21. So with that statement alone, that very struck to my heart and my mind, that the 4 planes that I just referred to and just shared with you just now, are very much in cohort, in tandem, very much further validates the mere observation done by previous generations as what has been discovered scientifically by Dr. Maria. So apa, kalau kita perhatikan the first statement of bermainlah dengan anak kamu. So bila kita bermain dengan anak kita, obviously it has got to do with a lot of physical movements, physical activities. Kita bermain, kita angkat dia, kita dukung dia, kita try to guide them on how to slowly walk on his or her own feet, and then they develop a stronger physical, stronger body, the gross motor skills, the fine motor skills, as well as hand-eye coordination, all those, something that has got to do with physical ability, is rapidly happening during this course of time, meaning the first 6 to 7 years. Just a matter, 1 year difference is just a matter of just a guidance or numbers, but that shows us that the moment we enjoy playing with our children, and then kita tengok mereka dari hari ke hari meningkat usia dan mencapai apa yang sepatutnya dicapai pada waktu ketika itu, then that say something lah, maksudnya signify something from the the statement that was put forward by the previous generations. So which is very much related to the physical independence that we are trying to achieve during the first 7 years. And similarly, if we refer to second statement, meaning didiklah anak kamu, meaning when we say teach or educate, or school and so on, so we are trying to look into the perspective of mental or intellectual aspect, which is very much related to the objective during the second phase of the planes of development, which is to achieve the intellectual independence. So and the third statement was to berkawan lah, meaning whereby if we go carefully, ialah macam kita dengan kawan-kawan kita, macam mana. So basically when we are together with our friends, peer friends and so on, so we tend to open up our discussion even more. Kita akan bercakap banyak personal matters, when it comes to some other things, jadi sama jugalah dalam 4 planes of development tu, yang mana the second part of 12 to 18 is to achieve the emotional independence, whereby waktu ni mereka memang sangat-sangat perlukan kita punya support. So they are struggling within their own self, trying to search for, trying to figure out what is happening to their body, because of balik dan sebagainya. How they would like to see themselves in front of other people, it has got to do with emotional, emotions. So daripada situ memang menyebabkan saya lagi berminat. Wah, maksudnya yes, a statement is a statement, that's one thing, but the scientific discovery is another thing. And the best part of Montessori method ni, Dr. Maria has developed as further develop, the activities, the lesson plan, the scope and sequence, the materials that comes together with it. So to what? To further strengthen that particular core principles. To ensure that whatever objective that we would like to achieve, for each and every aspect of life, for our child, can be realized, can be materialized. Jadi so daripada situlah, that's my take lah, my key take for that I can share with you all today. Meaning what? Meaning the moral of the story is for us to, as a parent, we have to really understand the child development. Meaning, the moment we understand uh, which stage that they are in, and we know exactly what are the things that we, as a parent, as a father especially, need to accommodate or attend to. So you know the development process can be rather far more beneficial, and smoothen up the process a lot better. So jadi itulah, jadi bila kalau tanya saya, was there any difference between my 4 children that I have now? If let's say if I were not able to apply this method for one of my child as compared to the other, so I would say based on my experience, yes, memang ada beza. Memang ada beza. Sebab kalau yang just to quote an example, macam yang first son tu, I knew nothing about Montessori, and even to certain extent just a straightforward kind of parenting. So yalah, most of the time kita banyak buatkan untuk dia. So there's a famous saying in Montessori during the age of 0 to 6, is help me to do it myself. Maksudnya kita bantu dia, tetapi bantu dia untuk mereka buat benda tu sendiri, on his or on her own. Not just the statement cut short by help me to do it. So there's an additional statement, or there's another word that makes the sentence complete, meaning help me to do it myself, as compared to help me to do it. So maknanya kalau banyak benda yang kita buat untuk dia, tapi hakikatnya kita tak sedar sebenarnya, dengan kita banyakkan buat untuk dia tanpa kita bagi peluang pun untuk dia buat sendiri. So in a way dia akan sedikit sebanyak not to say hinder the development process, but rather have a certain implication later on, yang mana bila mana mereka dah meningkat dewasa sikit lah. Sebab apa? Sebab waktu kos hingga 6 ni, it has got to do with physical movements and so on. So jadi kita notice lah bila mana dah anak ni yang dia tak kita tak berkesempatan untuk laksanakan benda tu, ataupun untuk nak bantu mereka pada waktu ketika tu. So maknanya bila mereka dah masuk second plane, even kalau kita nak perbetulkan balik ataupun kita nak try to enhance their for example fine motor skills and so on, boleh, bukan tak boleh, tapi it's quite a challenging process lah. Sebab apa? Sebab masa tu mereka punya fokus sudah lain. They are more keen towards understanding or acquiring as much knowledge as possible, looking into the social aspects, be with friends a lot more, socialize more. Jadi tapi dalam masa sama kita try to impose them, kenapa ni nak ikat tali kasut pun macam tak boleh lagi. So nampak tak? Jadi itu sikit sebanyak dia memberi kesan lah. That's based on my personal observation experience. Jadi sama jugalah, let's say katakan kalau kita faham anak kita tu sekarang 10 tahun. So 10 tahun, jadi kita as a parent, as a father, we have to support them, guide them in a manner that they can acquire as much knowledge as possible. Sebab apa? Sebab waktu ni adalah the best and critical part where they are acquiring, or are trying to understand what is happening, so, with their surroundings. Jadi daripada situ kita akan tengok, dia akan tanya banyak soalan. Always give them chance to to ask questions, and we as a parent have to try to our level best to respond or give certain feedbacks to whatever questions or um, matter that they would like to know. Jadi kalau even to certain extent, macam kalau katakan soalan tu macam even saya tak tahu. So tak apa, kita boleh cari bersama-sama. Nampak tak? Maksudnya we as a parent, kita pun boleh cuba bersama-sama dengan dia untuk dapatkan jawapan. So at least we also learn something new as a result of the questions posed by our children. Jadi benda tu pun memang sangat-sangat membantu everybody. Maknanya kita pun akan lebih membina keyakinan kita dalam parenting, parenthood, dan dalam masa yang sama kita dapat address the issue, not issue lah, address certain things that our children might have, might want to know certain things that out of their curiosity, macam tu. So itulah, jadi in Montessori method ni dia memang kita look in we are developing both body and mind. Istilah yang biasa Dr. Maria gunakan, physical and psychological. We are not just developing the physical form of one particular human being, but we are also looking into the aspect of psychology. So by understanding that simple principle, obviously ada banyak lagi prinsip sebenarnya. There are a lot more in the method, in the Montessori method, that we have to get used to it, that we have to make ourselves aware of. Tetapi dengan memahami that simple diagram or 4 planes of development, can give us a better visualization. We as a parent, as a father, and how do we tackle any development change to our child. Tapi obviously memanglah along the way memang there will be ups and down. Memang kita kan tak sempurna, kita tak tahu semua benda. Tetapi at the very least kita berusaha dan kita cuba sedaya upaya kita untuk become a good father, a good mother, a good parents, kan? Sebab kita tahu it's not that easy to do or to become one, because we have a huge responsibility on our shoulder. Tapi once we commit to that role, we have to do to our level best. Itu paling penting. Do to our level best. So I think itu yang saya boleh kongsikan di sini. Cuma kalau tanyalah what are the main good practices lah, mungkin saya boleh kongsikan 3 lah. Saya boleh share 3. Yang pertama, always seek knowledge. That's the most important thing. Always seek knowledge. Even saya sekarang pun banyak lagi saya tak tahu, to be honest. Tetapi yang penting kita bila kita nak buat sesuatu tu, in this regard, when it comes to parenting, parenthood dan sebagainya, understanding the child development. So we have to seek for as much knowledge as possible so that we can learn and understand, and only then we can apply in a more significant manner lah, in that sense. Second of all, I would say always communicate with your partner lah. As a mother, you have to always communicate with the father lah, maksudnya husband, and vice versa lah. Jadi kalau father memang, and I'm very, I would say, very very happy, very pleased to certain extent. Very, I would say, I'm a lucky person lah to have my wife. She's day and night, memang menjaga semua, dan yang paling penting, anything communicate and support each other. Itu yang paling penting. And yang terakhir, I would say be a good role model lah. Be a good role model to our children. Sebab by becoming one, they can look upon us. They are, they understand even better how we as a person, we as a father, we as a mother, is uh, communicating and exposing ourselves to whatever that they would like to know, and only then they can appreciate even more lah. I think that's all, Pak Aisyah. Thank you.
Okay, Zuhry, Masya Allah. In the beginning when we were preparing for the show, I said I will come on and off to support you. I'm afraid you might get tired or whatever, but I think you carried on fine. I think we have a potential new host now. Alhamdulillah, wonderful. I took down I was listening. And I think from my take from and for benefit of some of the viewers who I can see the numbers increase a bit and they might have missed in the beginning. What Zuhry talked about mainly is about acknowledging and understanding the 4 phases of development, right? As a parent, kan kita mesti ambil tahu lah kan. We have to know what it means. As obviously, it's the natural way of the child development, and that is true, as you said, scientific observation, discovery, and logical explanation. That's the one that sort of went ping in your head, right? Okay. And I must admit, similar in my journey juga, a few decades or so earlier than yours. And you explained more about the first physical independence, intellectual independence, emotional, and then financial. It all makes logic, and dah ada track dah kan, ada track. Okay. And then you mentioned about what clinch the deal sort of thing is how you compare with the Islamic approach of the 777 years too, right? If we're in tandem with Montessori's findings, which it's very, very interesting, and yes, very similar I find as well. And finally, of course, you talked about your 3 pointers, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Nick did our Mother's Day talk, I think she did the same thing. So said always seek knowledge, communicate with your partner, be a good role model, right? So, this is obviously you are both great parenting partners together. They call it sharenting now, right? You have to share it. Yeah, the sharenting. Let's share it because the importance of having both parents there are so beneficial to the children, at least being on the same page and whatever. And so a lot of what you say, resonate with me. I'm sure a lot in the audience to come who couldn't make today's talk and they will listen it another time. Thank you very much. We could go on, definitely. Your talk memang open macam Montessori itself. Anything about Montessori philosophy tu buka sini, buka lagi, buka sini, buka lagi. There's so many things that I can talk about, right? If you don't mind, I would like to just pick on 1 or 2 things and ask you your comments on it. Like, sure. You mentioned the 7 years too in the Islamic way too. The second phase of 7 to 14 is didik lah, right? Educate your children, right? Okay, if we keep up with the news at the moment, we know that our Ministry of Education is going through lots of challenges all the time, but it's all the more even felt now with the doing away of exams, right? Doing away of exams and more based on penaksiran, right? On assessment. Okay, so I'm sure Montessorians like you, your wife Nick, myself, and a few others are gleefully relaxed about it because we do penaksiran all the time, right? So the job isn't difficult for us. Okay. And understandably, I hope if anybody's watching and has a friend in your MOE could try and put in a good word for us and say that, essentially, in order for it to work well, the numbers of the class needs to go down, and the importance of placing emphasis on the psychology of the child, the psyche of the child is important. Not just 0 to 6, yeah, not just preschool. It carries on, kan? Yeah. Correct. So Yeah. So, what do you think? They are having some challenges at the moment because the old model is for industrial revolution, traditional factory kind school. Sorry to say the word factory, but the old model is macam tu. Curriculum pun old model. So sekarang dia nak change to PBS kan, penaksiran system. Uh, it's going to be impossible to do because you've got like 40 over children, kan?
Yeah.
And kesian the teachers to 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 assess them for every single area of development. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think yeah, rightly said by Panasha. Yeah, conventional way of conventional education system. They are very much keen on the I like to use the word drilling lah, drilling where exam oriented and so on. But
Mm,
rather when we look at other methods and if we refer to Montessori in particular, so yeah, they are not there are no that kind of approach in the sense
mm,
that everybody is given opportunity to learn in their own respective way,
mm,
and at the same time, the guide or the teacher can assess, can observe, can assess and evaluate at the same time, without even having to do a proper and formal test in that regards.
yep.
So yeah, I think it's good if let's say MOE can perhaps um, seek for audience lah, seek an audience with MMM perhaps, even basically try to explore
Yes,
what are the things that has been, it's nothing new basically, it
yep.
has been there
Agreed.
for 100 over years.
Yes.
So yeah, so it's
Mm,
nothing new. Just matter
mm,
of try to seek an audience with respective or relevant personnel,
mm.
and then we could move forward from there.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that positive note of encouragement there. Of course, as you know, Zuhry, ma'am has been around for about, I think I'm losing count now, 14 years, 13, 14 years now.
Yeah,
And we have had our connections with MOE in the past until today. Because of COVID, it's been lesser lah, kan? We do more online and everything, but we've enjoyed a good relationship with them, and always they do consult us once in a while, and when they need to. But it would be nice, right, if we put words into action, right? Like you say,
correct,
kan?
correct.
Because I think people listening and even learn a bit about Montessori methodology too will agree that when you said the words ambil tahu, right? We must know about child development. It means it's a conscious effort, right, to know about
Yeah,
something and do something, and not just based on paperwork, on lessons, Google Forms, or whatever it is.
yeah,
It's more of a humanistic approach, wouldn't you say?
correct,
Right.
correct.
So
Agree.
I think one way to help the MOE with their current challenge at the moment for the making their assessment-based system more effective is definitely to lower the numbers in the classroom. That will allow the teachers to be uh, more human. No, I'm sure they're human. You know what I'm saying? More
Yeah,
personal, right? If the lower
yeah,
numbers can give more attention and all that, right? So
correct, correct.
inshallah, I hope that works well. I'm really really keen to explore more with you. So many questions and all that, but
Inshallah,
I think
inshallah.
we'll take up a lot of people's time on this Sunday afternoon. But yeah, congratulations to you and to your wife Nick on stumbling upon this Montessori methodology and being together. I can foresee you're going to be a power Montessori couple here in Malaysia. I really do look forward to more input from both of you. Do keep in touch with us with how your Nick's school is going and the journey you and your children are going through with your your understanding the Montessori methodologies. And we really, really would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your time this afternoon, especially
Thank you.
on Father's Day. Okay, Alhamdulillah. And
Thanks for inviting me, Vanasha.
yeah, our greatest pleasure. Honestly, our greatest pleasure. And we look forward to seeing you again and more of Montessori. Okay. Take care
Inshallah.
then, everybody. Take care again. Thank you. And we will
Thank
see
you.
you in our next monthly talk, inshallah, with more Montessori experiences and sharing. Please do write in through our messenger on our Facebook if you would like to know how to be members, as well as if you have any questions or anything about Montessori in Malaysia here. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.